Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions live from Gen Con 2020, Walking the Path of the Worthy. So, what I was actually painting, my light's on, some light's never on. I got paint pot here, let me get that out of the way. I was actually painting my Wolverine. Thinking about Path of the Worthy and what it means, and I know it's something we announced a while back, and then with the global pandemic, it got pushed aside, because we couldn't go to conventions. So I want to talk about it, and I want to let you know that it's still here. The Path of the Worthy is still here, and I want to kind of just like philosophically discuss it. So kind of like Pagani and Schick discuss the philosophy of game design and stuff in a couple panels. I want to kind of discuss like what is the Path of the Worthy first, and then what as a judge we're looking for, and what is it kind of a goal, right? So let's start with what the Path of the Worthy is. It's a painting competition, and it's here to celebrate the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures and the story and atmosphere and narrative of Marvel Crisis Protocol. These characters and the miniatures, beautiful, and they all have unique stories, and then we allow you to tell your stories. And the Path of the Worthy is another way to tell a story, and that's going to be a running theme through what I talk about today. Is telling story, telling narrative, and just being bold and brave, being a hero. You hear me and Schick say that like all the time in the paint streams. But let's talk about like the layers, and then we're going to talk a little more philosophy. So the very first step, if you paint a miniature, right? I've got my brown Wolverine there I was working on, throwing some highlights. And this Wolverine, he's not for the worthy at all. I make a decision at the beginning of painting a miniature. What is its destiny? What is its goal? This Wolverine is for me. It's only for me. It only has to please me. I'm painting it for the table. I'm painting it to play games. I'm playing it to show up at the game store and throw down with some friends and stuff like that. So I probably would never really enter him in the Path of the Worthy. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, because the very first step on the Path of the Worthy is being heroic, right? It's being brave enough to step out. And one of my primary goals with the Worthy was I want to provide everybody the opportunity to step up and learn something, right? So when you come to the Worthy and you enter, you might not have ever entered a painting competition. You might not have any idea how to paint for a painting competition. You might be just beginning. But I want to provide that feedback and that opportunity to like step up and meet other people and learn and educate yourself, because that's how we get better. I've been painting a long time, and I was terrible at it. I've got miniatures I painted that are just barely painted, and I was just like, that's amazing, look how good I am. And then I kept asking questions. I ask a lot of questions. So by just entering the Worthy, you are heroic, and this is a patch you're going to get for just stepping up and just putting yourself out there for all the world to see. You're a hero. This is you're going to get one of these, and then the goal is for you to get feedback, for you to develop your skills so you can become the painter you want to be, right? You don't ever have to go for the top, but like just getting that feedback to be the painter you want to be. Maybe you just want to be a really fast tabletop painter. Then you come and you ask questions, right? Maybe you want to be a studio painter. Come and ask questions, and all that stuff. If you've entered multiple times, like these are big patches. That's bigger than the palm of my hand. We provide an opportunity. You can get one of these. It's like a little paintbrush patch. You set it next to, and you can build this up. And so on your sweet blue jean jacket, vest, or your army bag, you can show how many times you were heroic, how many times you've entered. Now, from all the entries, of course, that is the primary goal: education and getting out there and inspiration. But then we start like actually getting into judging, because once again, this is the celebration of the art, right? We want to see art. So the next step up would be the chosen, and the chosen are going to be divided into three things. You're going to be gold, silver, and bronze. And there's not just, that doesn't mean three. That doesn't mean gold, silver, bronze, 1, 2, 3. So in a single category, you have three categories: single, dual, squad. In each one of those, the judges are going to pick everybody who deserves a gold is going to get a gold. Everybody who deserves silver is going to get silver. Everybody who deserves a bronze is going to get a bronze. So if 500 entries come in and 400 of them are worth a bronze, you're going to get a bronze coin. Can I get a good better shot of that? There we go. Look at that light. So you got Mjolnir, some lightning on the back, the Marvel Crisis Protocol. Everybody who deserves a bronze is going to get a bronze. Everybody who deserves a silver is going to get a silver. Let me see if I can get some light on that. From my boom. And everybody who deserves a gold is going to get a gold. So multiple people will get these coins, right? So it's not really, we're still not judging you based on against each other. We're judging you based on what you've done, what you can accomplish, right? So you can see, if I just give gold, silver, bronze, it doesn't really tell you much about like where you've reached in your path, right? In your path. But if we give 20 bronzes or 20 silvers, right? This, you can look and you can kind of feel like, oh, okay. And then you can see why the gold's got the golds. You can see why the silver's got the silvers. And we'll talk about like the cool thing also, each one of these coins is going to come with a little resin stand that you can display your coin. These are unpainted. You can paint them yourself. It's really dope. I love this little thing. I would probably only ever take one of these and display my bronze medal that I won, right? Because I don't have a display case. Like if you get 500 bronzes, like a lot of space. But that's kind of what that is, right? We want you to be rewarded for what you accomplished, and not quite at the level of where we're comparing or judging you against somebody else yet, right? That's the next step, right? That's the next step of the path. The first two steps are you in your path, is your education, your inspiration, right? And that's our goal there. So of course I want to show, let's talk more. So let's talk about what we're talking about now. So like going up that path. So what are we looking for? I know I'm burying the lead. The cool stuff is over there still. Simone says, these are heavy. These are really, really heavy. These are really thick, super awesome coins. And you can see how big they are. I don't know if anybody knows how big my hand is, but it's pretty chunky. Actually, I'll show you how big it is. 50 millimeter base. How's that for a size of fried gold? So we've been looking at everybody in your path. And then what's going to take you up to the next path is called the chosen, right? And the chosen is when we're really starting to judge art, right? So I only have a couple examples, right? But kind of let's talk about what we're looking at here. So here you can see Captain America. He's on a display plinth. I actually painted this. Uh-oh, I'm getting messages. Josh better not crash my stream like he did Shik's. Okay, he's not. Okay. So this was painted by me. You can see like I didn't go for a gaming piece here. I spent this Captain America is painted way better than this Wolverine. I spent much more time on the blending, much more time on the storytelling atmosphere. You know, and I wanted something that really captured Captain America, right? So I put him on this cool plinth, and I painted the shield kind of like graffiti style on the concrete. There's a lot of like rubble and gribble all over the place. You can actually see the Hydra bit from, I can't remember if it was from the Hawkeye or the Agent Widow. But this guy's painted much better than what I would paint for tabletop. He's a display level. And that's really what we want, right? We want those stories. We want you to feel like you can tell the story. And I could have converted him. Maybe I could have, moved his arm around and gave him more, put the shield on his front, right? Like, we want you to do that. We want you to explore your art. There are a couple rules. The rules are provided about like characters unreleased and all kinds of other stuff. So you should check those out if you're interested in the Worthy. But what we're looking at is not just technical expertise. Like, I'm not looking for perfect blends necessarily. I'm looking for atmosphere. I'm looking for emotion. I'm looking for narrative. I'm looking for lots of different things that come together to tell a piece, right? We're looking for that piece of art. And there's thousands and millions of examples of miniature art in the world, right? To get an idea of what we're going for the Worthy. Because that's what we want to celebrate. We want to sell that art. Enough about this Captain America. Got one more I want to show real quick. I can talk about this one forever. So this is Captain Marvel. Once again, it's been applied to a display base. And this one went one step further. This was painted by Brendan Roy, who you may know. He paints the bulk of our studio miniatures. And he painted this Captain Marvel. And he made this display plinth and freehand painted the earth in the background with the sun cresting over the horizon. This thing in real life is dramatic. This thing is just it's just mind-blowing. I love this thing so much. I wish it was mine. It's not mine. I wish it was. He perfectly got her pinned on there. She looks like she's floating up. He took a lot of time and care into the paint story, so you can see like the halo of light hitting off her shoulders and on her side where the sun is like hitting her. So he's really gone out, and Simone's correct. The photo does not do this justice, but he just really knocked it out of the park and really drove home what it meant to be like taking the path of the Worthy here, right? This is like what we're really looking for, and beyond. Like, I can't even imagine the kind of stuff that painters like Chris Surrey, you might have seen on Facebook, has some really cool stuff he's been showing with like Venom jumping over a car. Like, that was for the Worthy competition that was meant to be had this year. So it's all about story, narrative, and technical expertise and all that stuff coming together to provide that moment where a judge, like I'm just going to use the word I because I'll be judging these with other people, is like, I just want to grab the piece and just be taken away, right? I want you to take me on a journey and show me what you imagine. Like, let's go on to, like, show me your imagination. And I can just talk about this piece forever, right? He's got the blends aren't perfect in some places, and then they're really amazing in other places. So he's using that contrast, right, that we talk about in all of our paint streams. So if you watch all my paint streams, everything I talk about, it all comes together to lead to this. Even though I'm painting tabletop, all the philosophies just lead to this, right? Because under, I paint tabletop, but underneath that, like, I am a competition painter. I'm a studio painter. And I want to make those accessible, right? If you so choose, right? You have to take that path, and you have to be ready to take the journey with us if that's what you're looking to do. If not, that's okay too, right? And that's the philosophy behind the Worthy, right? Blue Dragon 20 says, strive to give the miniature life. That's absolutely 100%. You're literally trying to breathe life into the miniature as an artist, and that's what we're looking for in the Worthy. So education, inspiration, once again, it all goes back to those things. And you can find you can find that inspiration everywhere. I look at bumpers when I'm walking to the grocery store, and I look at how the light comes together and what kind of weird colors. Like a couple years ago, I was looking at a yellow car and I noticed turquoise in the yellow, and I was just like, what is that? Why is there turquoise in the yellow? So you start looking at those and figuring it out, and then applying it to miniatures, and it makes your miniatures just more interesting. So that's what we're looking for. Let's talk about the 3 categories real quick. Single, 1 miniature. I want to see 1 miniature. The rules have a base dimension that you can work within. And you guys can be asking questions. I will answer questions, please, by all means. Single miniature is 1 miniature, right? It's 1 miniature. You don't have to use a plinth. It can be on a modeled base. If you want to do a display, it can be everything from, like, you know, maybe sculpt fire, and you got, I don't know, Thanos is rising from the flames, like go crazy, right? That's what we want to see. But the category is single, 1 miniature. Duel, it says duel. They don't necessarily have to be fighting. You know, you could do Bucky and Cap back to back, right? Like the tactic card. Maybe that tactic card is just your favorite tactic card and you just get inspired by it, right? Thanos based single miniature. Yes, single character miniature. To be very specific, Gribble. But duel can mean either maybe Thor fighting Hela, or Cap and Bucky back to back, right? You know, the end of the line, maybe the end of the line was like your favorite card and you want to recreate that. Like, because then I picked that up, I know exactly what you're doing. You're telling that story, and it's very exciting to see. Squad is 3 to 6, and this is your chance to show, like, your favorite affiliation, or maybe your favorite, like, moment in comics coming together, right, on one single story, things like that. So that opens up, like, a lot of possibilities, right? Maybe you have Thanos and all the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, fighting him, right? You can do all kinds of stuff. Like, there's every possibility you can think of. Just and it just allows you to tell a story with more characters, right? Your end games, your secret wars, all those kind of stuff, like where the heroes are all coming together, or the villains. Like, I'd love to see that, just a bunch of villains being all villainy. So tell those stories. So after you've been heroic and you've been chosen in each category, all the golds, now you're going to be judged against other people, right? So the other people, the other entries, you're going to have all the golds are going to be laid out. We're going to look at each one, and we're going to pick one. We're going to pick 1 gold, and they become the mighty. Let me show you what the mighty is going to get. It's too big to keep on my desk. So the mighty is going to be one person in each category is going to become the mighty, and they're going to get Mjolnir. Right? So this awesome trophy of Mjolnir. Once again, you can see how bloody big this thing is. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at it. I'm just super awesome. Can you be heroic, chosen? Yes, that is the point. You step in, everybody becomes heroic. If you become chosen, you get a chosen coin. 1 gold chosen coin is going to be in each category is going to become mighty, and out of the 3 mighties, 1 person's going to get the top prize, and we're going to get to that here shortly. So we're going to give away 3 of these. 1 of these in each category. 1 gold coin winner in each category will get a Mjolnir statue or trophy. This thing is boss. I'm jealous that I don't get to have one, because I don't get to have one. But this thing is amazing. And this is just the best of the category, right? We're gonna, like, once again, we're looking at the blending and the technique. We're looking at the diversity of technique. We're looking at the storytelling. We're looking at the narrative. I didn't really mean blending. I mean the technical aptitude, which means lots of different things. The circle on the front of the Mjolnir does not hold the gold coin. That's what the little stand is for. So we're looking at all those different storytelling elements, and that's what we really want to see, right? We want to see lots of story, lots of narrative, lots of visual interest and stuff like that. And that can mean lots of things. You don't have to do dramatic like object source lighting. That like it's easier to judge you for what you didn't do than what you did poorly. Does that make sense? Like, so if you're not really confident with object source lighting, maybe don't throw it on, right? Like maybe don't put it on there, because maybe your piece would look better without it because you weren't able to pull it off, right? If you weren't able to pull it off and you just don't put it on, then I can't see it done, not to the full standard of what we're looking for, right? So think about all those things, right? That's what I like to think about when I'm composing a piece for competition, right? This isn't necessarily for competition, although it could very easily be sent there. I'm looking at every little bit, I'm measuring stuff. I'm thinking of my rules of threes, thinking about color theory. If it's on the mini, it's getting judged. Yes, if it's on the mini, it's getting judged, right? If it's not, I'm not judging it. You made a choice, and that's great. I'm happy with your choices. You don't have to have freehand, right? A lot of people think you have to put freehand for a competition. You don't. You absolutely don't. I've seen competition figures where the freehand was actually a detriment, right? Because you have a beautiful painted miniature, and then the person wasn't able to quite pull off the freehand, so it kind of lowers the overall. Because we're looking at the overall thing. Mold lines. Boy, oh boy. This is a miniature painting competition. But the key to being a good miniature painter is be a good miniature hobbyist. You can't build a house without a solid foundation, kids. That's what I tell people all the time when I ask how to become a studio painter. First off, you gotta be a good hobbyist. You gotta know how to run the putty. You gotta know how to clean the mold lines. You gotta learn how to fix things, right? So mold lines, I look at all of those things, right? It's like a cooking show. Technically, is correct. If it's on the plate, it's getting judged, right? So don't put the unedible flowers on the plate because I want to eat it, right? It's on the plate. I'm supposed to eat it. So that's kind of the philosophy behind this. This is a very short class, by the way. I don't know if you know this. I would totally judge a cooking show if we had atomic mass cooking. I'm in, 100%. I need a drink. So, what's the plinth? It's a resin plinth. I use all kinds of things. I actually have, where's it at? It's always right here. And then, of course, I think I put it away. Actually, was walking one day and I found that the biggest, rustiest hex nut, like it came off a 18-wheeler. It was just on the ground and I picked it up and I've been carrying it around for years, just waiting for like the perfect miniature to put it on. So anything can be a display plinth, with just some imagination. Pieces of wood, a rock. Woodcut plinths are amazing. Resin plinths are amazing. Sculpted, who knows? Like, it's your imagination. You can do all kinds of things. Lonely Monk, there's actually art that goes here. I take it down for the streams, my dude. I guess I could get a appropriate picture for that. I need a picture. Or just look at my blank wall. My blank wall's dope. So once again, like our Captain America and our Captain Marvel, right? It's all that story and narrative and your technical skills coming together. Yeah, random junk. I have tons of random junk. Tons of random junk that I just collect. Sticks, little flower seed pods, like all these things go to make beautiful display pieces and competition pieces for miniatures. Let's take some. I'm going to take some questions for a little bit before we show our final trophy. Yeah, cedar chips are great. Um, I did one recently where I took a bunch of slivers of cedar chips and you kind of can make it look like broken, craggy earth and stuff like that. So that's what we're really looking for, and that's the goals of the worthy. So let's go ahead and win and wear. We are working on the win and wears right now. So more information coming. So we're working on the wins and wears. So we've talked about the path: heroic, chosen, mighty, and finally the worthy. Of the three mighties, we're going to take those three entries. So now we got one entry from three different categories where, we have one single, one dual, and one group. And we're going to look at those against each other. Now we're looking for the creme de la creme, the top dog, the storyteller extraordinaire. And that person is going to walk away with the worthy, and they're going to win the overall competition, right? So like I said, we're starting out, we're learning, we're educating, and we're inspiring, and then we're growing and developing. Then we're looking at like skill and narrative, and then we're breaking that down one more time because there's got to be one winner because I only got one of these. Let me grab it. Simone, I hope they're ready for this. Josh, what do you think? So this is the worthy. This will be one person walks away with this trophy to put on their mantle, if they have a mantle to hold this bad boy. Of course, we have what kind of competition of the worthy would be worthy of the name if it wasn't Odin sitting on his throne judging you, right? So this is the trophy one person is going to walk away with, and this is why art is so important, right? This is the reward for storytelling, narrative, and art all coming together. I cannot wait to give this away. Actually, I can't wait because the longer we wait, the longer it sits on my shelf. Yep, we got the two Raven, Hugin Mugen, however you pronounce them, Odin sitting on his throne, judging you right from afar. So this is bigger than size 5. This thing is really big. So that is the worthy. So hopefully what you do is maybe the first time you come in, my first couple paint competitions, I only got golds. It took me a long time to actually bust through and win a competition. Yes, work on deadlifts as part of your painting skills. Unpainted, it's a trophy, so it does have the same finish as Mjolnir is a little bit easier to show. It has a finish. It's kind of a brass. You can see the highlighting. It's a brass kind of finish. If you wanted to paint it, you can totally paint it, but he doesn't fit in the size restrictions of single, and it's not a miniature, so you can't enter it. But I'd love to see it painted. Yeah, it's not shiny gold. We went for a different finish. I wanted more like a nice, dark, antique-y kind of feel. I think it's a little more elegant than something more boisterous as like super shiny gold. Gribble asks, so there's only one per competition? Yeah, it's a one per competition. So we could have, multiple competitions through the year. And each competition has one Odin, right? It's a painting competition. I'm not hiding any secret rules in here. Each competition, you'll have multiple coin winners. You'll have 3 Mjolnirs and 1 Odin for each competition that we hold. We still haven't. We still don't have dates for it. We're still working on how to hold the Worthy in 2021. One option is online, and let's talk about that. If we were to do an online version, photography will go into that. So it's an ongoing series, absolutely. Photography would go into an online painting competition, right? It's just like I get asked a lot, like, to look at people's paint jobs, and there's nothing worse than taking a picture in front of your paint pots. I can't see your miniature. I just can't see your miniature. Or your desk with all of your stuff. I can't see your miniature. Photography means so much. It's sort of like even the box photography. A lot of people are like, oh, the legs of Taskmaster are short. It's like, well, photography actually flattens things, and you can't actually see the full scope of what things are. So you need to really think about what photography does to a miniature to show it to somebody. So if we were to do an online Worthy, photography would play a big role in it, to be perfectly honest. So that's something to keep in mind up there. Let's answer some questions. Shoot me the questions. I got lots of people watching. I want to hear some questions about stuff. I'm so excited to give away that Odin. So excited to give away that Odin. I need to quit playing with this. I'm sure you can hear me shuffling those post-it notes. Ryland TV, as someone that's just getting started in the I want to be better than just 3 colors tabletop standard, what technique should I work on? I always say brush control and highlighting, right? Brush control and highlighting. You can make an awesome looking miniature with just making sure all your colors are in the right spot, right? So if you're painting me, making sure that there's no gray up on my neck, no Seattle tan down on my shirt. There's no particular technique that's going to push you up, right? Every single technique is vital. Every single technique has a purpose. Somebody said dry brushing the other day is a bad technique. And it's not. I've used dry brushing to do studio miniatures, and you will never be able to figure out which one or how. Because a good dry brush is multiple very intensely light layers, right? It's not just you're across some chainmail, right? So it's still the same technique, it's just being applied more precise, I guess, is what so it's not really a technique that I would work on. It's more like the philosophies behind things, right? Learning how to put colors in interesting places, learning about light and shadow, developing your volume, right? That's what moves miniatures up to art, not necessarily technique. I've seen beautiful pieces of miniature art that are not perfectly blended smooth, right? The perfect blend, you don't have to have perfect blend. So you don't have to work on blending, unless you want to. I like blending, personally. I like it in a studio model where I can get perfectly, even beyond airbrush smooth blends with my brushes, because it feels good to me and stuff like that. But then on my miniatures, on my tabletop miniatures, whatever, I blend, but I don't perfectly blend. So technique, education, color theory, light theory, stuff like that. Pictures always show off the Okusanagi. Pictures always show off the mistakes I missed with my eyes. Yes, 100%. Holy cow. You want to really see your mistakes? Get a professional photographer to take it for a box art. Like, they will show you all your mistakes. Our graphic designer, Jesse, I'm always just like, can you pull that back a little bit? You're showing off my mistakes. Take pictures during your process. That's like something I do sometimes. So I take a picture of my process and then I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I go back and I smooth that out, or, oh, I clean that up, right? Like sometimes I'm dark lining and I take a picture and I notice like the dark line does this and I'm like, and then I gotta go back and push that dark line down, things like that. So taking pictures during, and just learning how to take a decent picture. It doesn't have to be an amazing picture, just take a decent picture. Get a light box. Light boxes are very cheap. And you can take pictures and see your progress. And you can get a small light box, right? Very cheap. For photography, plain backgrounds. I don't want to see, like, if I'm judging a miniature, I don't want to judge that stuff. That's not what I want to see. I want to see your miniature, right? If you put a bunch of random scenic stuff behind your miniature, my eye gets confused, right? I'm distracted. I'm looking at all kinds of things. If you want me to look at your miniature, I need to see your miniature, right? It's like if you asked me to judge the flavor of ice cream, but you cover it in sauerkraut, right? Well, I don't know how good the ice cream is because I taste sauerkraut. By the way, no sauerkraut. Hey, love sauerkraut, but I just don't want it on my ice cream, right? How can I judge my ice cream though if you're covering it in sauerkraut and Cheetos, right? I don't know what the ice cream tastes like. Everybody likes that question. Of the release characters so far, what's been your favorite sculpt to paint? I don't know if I have a favorite because every single one has been an absolute joy. I will say I've been waiting, like Chick said last night when we were painting him, I've been waiting literally 30 years, probably more, to paint Wolverine. Like, just that Wolverine. Like, that one right there. It's just been, things like that. But as far as favorite, like every single one of these has just been a joy, like to paint and work on. I don't limit my favorites because that limits my joy, and I like keeping my heart open to lots of joy. So, that's me. Show Odin again. All right, quick beam. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna confirm that you're still here before I show it. I'll show it right here at the end. Similar. Do you have a favorite alternate color scheme for MCP model? I did that alternate. I love seeing alternate paint jobs, by the way, and that's something also that the Worthy can provide, and I think would be interesting. Good day, bloke says, so no stilt man. You've known about AMG for 1 year. What do you expect in a year? Who knows what the future holds? I'm going to show Odin one more time. Gotta get a good grip. There you go. There he is. The man of the hour. So this is what we're giving away. One miniature, one entry per competition. We'll walk away with this sucker. And actually, Simone, can I show the box? The box is awesome too. Simone says yes, I'm grabbing the box. This is the Odin box. It's a awesome black box. Splits open. It's got a foam center for Odin. It's got the dope Marvel Crisis Protocol in the back, and it's of course got our CKPW01 Odin trophy right here. So this goes together. It's got, like I said, it's got foam, cut foam inside for Odin to fit in nice and safely. So this thing's awesome. And of course, Mjolnir has a matching box. So CKPW02. Yeah, it's a bronze effect. Like it's a bronze effect on the statue there, or the trophy there. Gun Mage, I like the concept of the heroic. Any other advice for people who haven't entered the competition painting before? Be heroic. I mean, it's just, Schick and I say it all the time. Be heroic. Be a hero. The best advice is to do it. Enter, and then take some time and ask questions. Take some time and learn, right? I always say, just because you've done something for a long time doesn't mean you've learned anything. Like, it takes a certain mindset to learn. You have to be open. You have to be open in your heart. Listen to people, right? Even if you don't utilize somebody's advice, like you can take what they're saying and break it down, right? And see what it means and apply it to the way you think about miniatures. Yeah, it's a premium packaging. This isn't about playing. We're talking about painting. You guys are the worst. You don't have to get beyond your heroic. Like that's the awesome part about this competition is you don't have to get beyond heroic, right? It's about you growing. It's about your path. We're all on different points of the same path. So it's you coming up, you stepping up, and that means everything to me. Just you stepping up and being able to do it, and then getting some information, and then maybe it takes you 4 years, 5 years to earn that bronze. Maybe it takes you 1 year to earn that bronze, and then maybe it takes you another 2 years to get the silver. It's all about you pushing yourself and you growing and us doing it together, us growing together, right? We're not in this alone. We can come together and we can make something beautiful happen. How about for younger painters? Thank you. I forgot about that. Younger painters, there is a category for younger painters called the Destined. The Destined is for, I don't have the ages in front of me, 18 and under. So if you're under 18 years old, you go into a special category called the Destined. It's a category specifically for learning, for younger people to learn. They're not eligible for Odin. The Destined is its own separate, like, boop, boop, sub part of the Path of the Worthy. And it's for younger folks in the community to step in and test their skills against each other, or see how they rank to get in there, and they get information in their path. And then as they become older, they can step into they're more prepared to step into the worthy itself. I feel pretty young, except for when I get out of bed. Yeah, I agree. Worldwide, the Worthy is designed to be a painting competition. It'll go wherever we can go, right? So, like, the information will be coming. If we do it online, of course, we'll have to figure that out. So I don't have any of that information currently. There you go. Hitacole says, trust him about to just do it. About 3 years ago, had thought what it was a great idea. I ran it by Dawson. His advice scared me. That's all on my face. He convinced me to do it. 2 years ago, I got to show him in-person result, and he said I actually did a good job. See, it's like sometimes you just like I'll challenge you. Like I will like if you meet me at a convention and you're like, oh, I got this idea, I will challenge you 100%. I'll be like, and then I'll try my best to give you advice to achieve your goal, right? I'm not trying to achieve my goal. I'm trying to help you achieve your goal in the best way I can, right? So a lot of like, well, what if you did this, right? Okay, well, if you're scared of this, maybe try this, and you can get kind of the same effect. That's my goal, is to like help you become the painter you want to be, right? So, all right, I think we're about done here. You've seen the path of the worthy. The path is now laid before you, and it's up to you to take the first step. So hopefully very soon you'll be able to step into that role of the hero, become heroic, and make your way up to that worthy status. So until then, keep being the hero you are, and we will catch you at the next convention, or we'll figure something out. Thank you so much for joining me and joining us at the virtual Gen Con, Atomic Mass Games. We all love you, and it's just been a great weekend. I know Shik and Pagani and Josh are just having a ball. The rest of the team, Marco and Evan and Jesse and all of them are just having a blast, and the response has been awesome. So thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for joining us all weekend long. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye, heroes. I'm going to put up this other thing that I'm supposed to put up. That thing to show you where we're at on the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Facebooks. It's time to go do that, because Josh probably put something else up because he's drunk on power. That's what he does.